Ah, ano po ako, speechless ngayon. It's an answered prayer actually, sabi ko sa Lord. Lord, I'll be wanting to be here with my brothers and sisters. It's been around 4 years that I stand here. Sabi po ni Deacon Al, meron po tayong imported. Sabi ko po, luma na. Luma na, I've been here for the last 28 years with our mother church. I started here as a servant of God, and I'm still a servant of God. Purihin po ang Panginoon sa umagang ito. At ako po talaga ay nagagalak dahil yung aking panalangin po ay nasagot. Although I'm there in Sardia, my heart still belongs sa Mother Church. A part of me ay nandito pa rin. This is my home, this is my family, and this is my first love, kayo. So, sa hindi po nakakilala sa akin, kasi most of here ay hindi ko na po kilala. Ako po ay si Pastor Lenny. I'm an associate pastor. Hindi po ako talagang pastor. Pastor Jun Castro po ang ating pastor dito. And we're helping Pastor Jun Castro sa kanyang mga gawain, sa kanyang mga iba't ibang dapat gawin. Ako po ay na-assign ng Panginoon sa Sardia to take care of his flock there. Meron po tayong iglesia roon, the Evangelical Church, Diaspora of Sardia. At meron po tayong mga kapatid doon na just like me, ay gusto rin po nilang mamit, to shake hands and fellowship with you. Sa takdang panahon bibigay ng ating Panginoon. So, sa umaga pong ito, ay nandito po ako upang muli ay pagpatuloy ang tema, the theme of this month, which is required contentment. Ang bawat isang disciple of Christ ay, sabi nga, required. Nire-required po tayo ng Panginoon to live a life full of contentment. Pero, sabi nga, just like where we are, ay napakahirap gawin. But there are, sabi nga ni Apostol Pablo, I have learned. So it can be learned. And sabi niya, I can do all these things because Christ lives in me. Sa umaga pong ito, I would like to invite everybody to stand, and as we open our Bible, let's open on the book of 1 Timothy. 1 Timothy chapter 6, verses 6 to 12. 1 Timothy chapter 6, verses 6 to 12. I'm reading for the New NIV version. But godliness with contentment is great gain. For we brought nothing into the world, and we can take nothing out of it. But if we have food and clothing, we will be content with that. Those who want to get rich fall into temptation and a trap, and into many foolish and harmful desires that plunge people into ruin and destruction. For the love of money is a root of all kinds of evil. Some people, eager for money, have wandered from the faith and pierced themselves with many griefs. But you, men of God, flee from all this, and pursue righteousness, godliness, faith, love, endurance, and gentleness. Fight the good fight of the faith. Take hold of the eternal life to which you were called when you made your good confessions in the presence of many witnesses. Let's all bow head and pray. Lord, we praise and thank you. We'd like to glorify your name. Sa mga sandali ito, Lord, thank you for this opportunity that you have answered your servant's prayer. Lord, maraming salamat for that you have given me the privilege to deliver your message sa aming mga kapatid na nandito ngayon. It is my prayer that your message will open their hearts, not only to keep your message in their heart, but to apply them in their daily life. I ask the power of the Holy Spirit to illuminate to all of us your message. Help us, Lord. Guide us, Lord. Anoint and bless your message today. This I pray in the mighty name of Jesus, our Lord and Savior. Amen. Kaupo na po ang lahat. Okay, the central idea of the text, ito po yung original message ni Apostol Pablo sa kanyang iglesia before. He's talking to Timothy. The instruction of Apostle Paul to Timothy on how to be content with life regardless of the challenges that surround them during that time. The purpose of the message or the layunin ng ating mensahe for the day, to teach us on how to live a content life in a world that is relatively easy to get, that will lead us down a path that only leads to trouble, regret, and discontentment. And the central idea of the sermon, there are things to be learned that will guide us to reach the level of contentment that God has designed for us. The title of the message, which tent do we live today? Whether you like it or not, whether you don't know it, we are living in two kinds of tent. Number one, this is the tent that content. The other one is discontent. So we're living in two kinds of tent right now. One is the tent of content, and the other tent is the tent of discontent. So what is contentment? A lot of speakers have speak about what is the real meaning of contentment. I will add a little bit on this one. So what is contentment? When we talk as Christians about this, the definition of contentment is just like Paul when he is outlining what is the meaning of contentment. I would like to borrow just one from Jeremiah Burrow, who was a writer, who wrote the famous book, The Rare Jewel of Christian Contentment. This is how he defined contentment. He said, Christian contentment is that sweet, inward, quiet, that gracious frame of spirit which freely submits to and delights in God's wise and fatherly disposal in every condition. I will repeat again. Christian contentment is that sweet, inward, quiet, that gracious frame of spirit which freely submits to and delights in God's wise and fatherly disposal in every condition. Godliness is a God-centered life. It grows not through the pursuit of a process, but through the presence of a person. Jesus Christ is the mystery of godliness. His presence in your life, in my life, is our hope of becoming the person that God wants us to be. It is our hope. And contentment is finding joy in what God has given to all of us. And the opposite of contentment is greed, which destroys our capacity to enjoy what God has given us. And contentment is a Christian grace. It is a grace of God that grows over time. It does not come quickly. It does not come easily. We cannot buy it. It is just like all. I have learned to be content. It can be learned. How did we learn it? He tells us in the previous speaker that had spoken here in the book of Philippians, I know what to be in need, and I know what it is to have plenty. I have learned the secret of content. And one of the secrets of that one is, I can do all these things through Christ, who strengthens me. And God used the experience of loss to produce the good fruit of contentment in Apostle Paul's life. Have you discovered the secret of being content? I will follow up again Jeremiah Burrow's description of contentment as a rare jewel. How can you find joy in what God gives you, especially when it is less than you had before? Mahirap yun. And he writes, a Christian comes to contentment not so much by way of addition as by way of subtraction. A Christian comes to contentment not so much by way of addition as by way of subtraction. Contentment doesn't come by adding what you have, but subtracting from what you desire. I will read it again. Contentment doesn't come by adding to what you have, but by subtracting from what you desire. The word, what is the word telling us? You will find contentment when your possessions rise to meet the level of your desires. The Christian has another way of contentment. He can bring his desire down to his possession. He can bring his desire down to his possession. At this moment, we will study the instruction of Paul to Timothy, who will be pastoring a small church. Timothy is a very young pastor. So Apostle Paul is giving instruction to Timothy on that time. And we can also learn from Apostle Paul's instruction to Timothy, so that we can live the life of contentment that God has desired for us. It is the desire of God for us. Remember, number one, we have to learn that in our life here on earth, we cannot keep what we have gained. We have to learn in our life here on earth, we cannot keep what we have gained. We have to realize that we are here for a temporary stay. Visit-visa lang po tayo dito. Here on earth. And dito po sa tinitira natin dito, working visa lang po tayo dito. This is not our home. This is our not permanent home. And I'm sorry to say, we're treating this place just like our home in Philippines. And we accumulate and accumulate and accumulate and accumulate a lot of things. That's why our house is overloaded with a lot of things. Alam niyo po, culture na sa atin yan, especially our culture. When Emirates Airline or any airline says the baggage allowed will be 30 kilos, what we are doing is, we're putting 32, baka makalusot. Or we're putting 35, baka may makasabay. Or we're putting 40, may kakilala ako sa airline. We like excess baggage. This is our culture. We like excess. That's why our life, we cannot move on. Sometimes decisions in life, big decisions in life are being hindered by these baggages. Sometimes there's a big opportunity, job opportunity in one place, but the one thing that hindered us is, ang hirap lumipat. I have a lot of things to dispose. I have a lot of things on this one. And a good opportunity misses because of this excess. Remember, at birth, we brought nothing into this world. And at death, we take nothing out of this world. Let us think of the stages of life. Number one, there is the stage of birth. At birth, what do we brought here on earth? Nothing. Only our bodies and our life. Right? And how about the stage of death? It is certain that each and every one of us will face death. At death, we carry nothing out of this world. We leave the world just as we enter, and we leave the world with nothing. But in between birth and death, there is a stage that we call life. Life is entirely different from birth and death. There are some things we need during life. Necessities in order to sustain life. We need food, we need clothing, we need shelter. That's why we call it the basic necessities of life. Food, shelter, and clothing. But take note, we need nothing else. We can live, we can sustain life if we have all these things. Now, Apostle Paul says, we need food and clothing. Provision for the maintenance of life. That's why we eat. And protection from the elements that will destroy life. That's why we have the clothing, we have the shelter, and God provided us for us. And with that simple lifestyle, food, shelter, and clothing, we can be content. That is why Jesus meant when he say, man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceeds out of the mouth of God. It is the knowledge of God that gives us contentment. It is the fellowship of God that gives glory to our God. And that makes the heart rejoice. It gives us peace. It gives us a sense of worth and security. And Paul says, this is true contentment. But let us be practical. Let us be practical. It's hard to live. It's hard to live in this basic, fundamental style. The reason is because every now and then, we are being bombarded with appeals, commercials, Advertisement, buy this. You need this one in your life. It will enhance your life. It will bring you comfort. It will bring you good sleep. It will bring your health. Nakakalungkot because we are a culture consumed with more. We are a culture consumed with more. Every day, buying newspapers, they are very, the way they put commercialism in this place is really, you will not imagine. Even if you park your car, there are advertisements in your windows, in your windshields. They are using people to put in our doorstep what they are trying to sell every day, almost every day. You go to the internet, you go to shopping mall, everywhere that's there. We have our friends. Our friends, they get something new that we don't have. Noong una, sabi natin, oy, ang ganda, patingin naman. I will just have a look. Ang susunod, ang gagawin natin, pahawak naman. Then the next, ay, pa-testing naman. Then the next time, pipilitin ako. I will buy that one. Maybe not now, but on my next salary. But I will surely buy that one. Mahilig sa basketball, grupo. Wow! Sa bahay nila, laptop. In their house, it's only watching on the laptop. Or maybe he could have a 32 inches TV. But napunta sa isang kaibigan, wow! 60 inches TV, high definition, smart TV, ang ganda. Ang ganda pa naman dito. Pag-iipunan ito. Wow! I would like to buy that one. It's nice to watch the ball dribbling and you can hear the sound. Tum, 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 tum. Sarap manood. We go and visit houses. Nakita natin sa kanila, uy, ang ganda niyan. Saan ba nakakabili niyan? Ay, doon. Punta rin ako bukas. I will buy that one also. We are a culture of pursuit. We go in the store, pupunta tayo doon. There is all the things that we don't have. We don't have. Have we actually bought one thing na hindi natin kailangan pag pumunta sa store? Nabibili natin siya because nakikita natin and we realize upon seeing that item, kailangan ko ito. Parang I need this in my house. There's an empty space on my house that needs this one. Before you don't need that one, but when you see that one, there is a place now. IKEA. I like that place. I like that place really. It's really, I can get, sabi nga, your inspirations. But, just like anybody else, I'm not exempted to this consumption, or we call it, later we call it consumption, but now consume. When I go there, of course, I cannot buy all the expensive things. I usually go down the basement, because that is only my place. On the basement, because on the basement you can find 5 dirhams, 10 dirhams items. This is the only thing that my money can afford. But, I just want to go there to have an inspiration. But it so happened that I will also buy something. My intention was just to go there and please my eyes and be inspired. And later, I will do some renovation in the house without any expenses. But when I go there, I'm forced to buy something because I want this. How about all items 10 dirhams? The good strategy. They cannot get you on the 100, they will get us on the 10 dirhams per item. 110, another 10, you get a basket, and you will not believe it, you get 200 dirhams worth of 10 items in your basket. All the things that you don't need, oh, this is beautiful, I like this one. It's only 10 dirhams. 10 dirham, and you will not believe it if you already have 200 dirhams in your Ramadan is here. 70% discount on all items. But watch out, the small part on small selected items. Yes, sir. And a lot of sale going on around here. We are really being tempted. That's why when we open our closets, we could find dress, shoes, jewelries that has been there, sleeping, that you don't know it is there. Because we keep on accumulating and accumulating and accumulating. A word of advice. If you are consumed with seeking after what you don't have, you won't enjoy what you already have been given. If you are consumed with seeking after what you don't have, you won't enjoy what have already been given to us. And another word of advice, we tend to forget that happiness doesn't come as a result of getting something we don't have, but rather of recognizing and appreciating what we have. Diba may kanta? Count your blessings one by one. Count your blessing one by one, and you will forget what you want to buy in your life. We will learn to appreciate what we have right now. We are so richly blessed. I would like to tell you that we are so richly blessed. We have a good job, a good place to stay, a healthy church, a fellowshipping with each other. What can we ask for more? Do we need to ask something more at this moment in our life? Do we need something more else to buy in our life? Where every day we can have clothes to wear, watches to see, a car to use. What else? They're giving a promo. 14 dirhams per day for a car. 14 dirhams per day, you can have a car. 5 years to pay. 100,000 kilometers or 3 years, whichever comes first. Free, solid, insurance, nice deal. And you have a car that when you go inside, amoy pa. Parang luma na kasi. It's 85. But it's working good. Yung AC medyo mahina. But it works. And there's an offer. 14 dirhams per day. Wow. What a nice offer. A grab opportunity. Wow, pagkakataon na. It's a chance. I could have a new car. And you have an old car. It is working. And you are not paying anything at all. But we prefer something to pay, something to show, something to acquire, that we have this one, for the sake that we have a new one. Right? It's our life here. Number one lesson, we must be learned to be content with whatever necessities we have in our life. Patuloy si Paul, instructing Timothy. Life is not a diet where you are really hungry, but you pretend that we are not. It is not denying our appetite to consume. So how can we live? How can we live a life of contentment that God has desired for us? The second thing is, we have to learn that our contentment does not lie on money or any material wealth. We have to learn that our contentment does not lie on money or any material wealth. The secret to contentment is not money or wealth. God is very clear on this matter. Money and wealth does not bring any contentment. There are 4 reasons. Number 1, money tempts and enslaves. A person with money can buy anything he wants when he wants it. A person with money can buy anything he wants when he wants to. A person with money can go wherever he wants when he wants to. A person with money can do just anything he wants, just as he wants to do it. We call this the power of the word. This is a worldly power that we have in our hands. A person who has the power to buy anything, go anywhere, do whatever he wants, has a worldly power. The point of this topic is the person who has this power is always tempted. He is tempted to live selfishly and to hoard what he has. He is always tempted to keep on buying and buying. He is always tempted to keep on going and going. He is always tempted to keep on doing and doing. There's no control. We keep on buying and buying. Look at how we buy clothes. Extravagance buying of clothes. Extravagance eating. Feeding ourselves. Keep this in mind. Keep this in mind. This is our life. Most people give up their health. Give up their health in order in the first half of life to earn money. Most people give up their health in order that in the first half of their life they use it to earn money. And in the second half of their life, they give up all their money to try to get their health back. In the second half of their life, they try to get their health back. How? They give all their money. They spend now all what they have earned to return back their health. What's the leading cause, brothers and sisters, of diseases today? It comes only from what we eat. Sobrang kain ng matamis, diabetes. Sobrang kain ng maalat, what do we have? Sobrang mataba ang kinakain, wala kang iwasan, di ba? Ang ibig sabihin nun, extravagance. But if we keep it on a balance, we will be healthy. That is the point. And money plunges men into ruin and destruction. The word plunge is a descriptive picture of wealth being a personal monster which plunges its victim into an ocean of complete destruction. Money plunges into ruin and destruction. Scams. Why is the scam very successful in the Philippines and even here? Beware, brothers and sisters. There's a lot of scams going around here. That even our co-Filipinos are being used to put these scams. In the Philippines, a lot of lives are lost because they have invested and put their money on these scams. Gratuity, pension, everything they earn in their whole life, they put and invest. Why? Because they want to get rich in a very short time. Easy to get the return of investment for a short time. You'll invest 10,000, after 3 months, they'll give you 25,000. So, let's remember, if it is too good to be true, then it's true scam. It's a true scam. Don't ever believe on that one. Number 3, the love of money. Money is all around here. Money causes people to wander from their faith and causes people to the lust of the world. It causes people to pierce themselves with many greed. The things, possession, and the lust of the world does not satisfy or fulfill a person's heart and life. The point is, a person craves the necessities of this life. His very nature, our very nature craves for them. However, if man has the necessities of life, you already have this one, he discovered that he needs to craves for someone. The necessities do not satisfy his inner cravings and emptiness. His hunger for thirst more and more and more. Therefore, what does man do? To seek to satisfy his craving. He wants to get more food. He wants to get more clothing. He wants to have everything else he desires. Eat and eat, he buy and buy. He go for after the comfort and pleasure, money, wealth, and everything he wants. But what man overlook? He overlooks something. The craving within his heart, the emptiness in his heart, the hunger, the thirst is not for more material things. It's not for material possession. It is for spiritual satisfaction. Filling up of another part of his being, his craving for godliness. Therefore, once man had his food and clothing and shelter, he has satisfied his physical craving. Enough food for our physical contentment. What we need is spiritual food. The satisfaction of his spiritual hunger is there. Man's contentment comes from having both his physical and spiritual hunger met. One without the other leaves him with some emptiness in his life. True contentment comes only from God. Money itself, let us focus on this one. Money itself, it is neither good or bad. Money is neutral. Where do we get to buy food? We need money. Where do what we need when we need to send our children to school? We need money. Money is neutral. With money, a man can selfishly serve his own desire, and with money, he can generously answer to the cry of his neighbor for his need. Money is not an evil, but a great responsibility. The heart of the problem is the problem in the heart. The heart of the problem is the problem in the heart. Money is not the problem. The problem is always on our heart. I would like to give you one illustration. Who knows Jack Ma? Jack Ma, the richest man. The richest man, one of the richest men, if not the richest man, was happier earning $12 a month than he is a billionaire. He is happy earning $12 a month than he is a billionaire right now. Jack Ma Alibaba Group Holding Limited is the one, the CEO is interviewed at the New York Stock Exchange before his company was put to initial public offering under the name Baba in September 2014. Jack Ma, the founder of Alibaba, he became the richest man in China for a record of $25 billion. Sabi ni Jack Ma. Jack Ma was just as happy, perhaps even happier, when he was barely making any money right out of college. Mas happy siya noon. After graduating in 1988, Jack Ma worked as an English teacher at a local university in his hometown, Hangzhou, China. He only made $12 a month, according to the documentary that was written on his life. When he was speaking at one luncheon in one part of New York, Jack Ma referred this period as, remember what he says, the best life I had. The best life I had. When you don't have much money, you know how to spend. Jack Ma explained, but once you become a billionaire, you have a lot of responsibility. If you have less than 1 million, you know how to spend the money. He said, 1 billion, that's not your money. The money I have today is a responsibility. It's the trust of people on me. And this is not the first time that Jack Ma spoke about being a billionaire. One time he spoke in another place in New York. He said, as an English teacher, my life was fantastic. He said, anyone with 1 million is lucky, but when you reach 10 million, you got troubles. You got troubles. That's Jack Ma speaking. So we go to another part, the last part. We have to learn to channel our natural desires for more things than that matter. We have to learn to channel our natural desires for more things that matter. Yes, we have the desire, we have the craving, we want to consume, we want more. But the Word of God said, flee, flee from all this and pursue righteousness. What we are going to learn now is to redirect. Yes, we have the appetite. We cannot cut this appetite. We want the desire. We cannot cut the desire. But we have to redirect this one. The word says is flee. There's some type of flee, then where we will go? We have to pursue righteousness and godliness in our life. Two roads that we have to go. One is to flee from these things and pursue on the other road. Two different paths to travel in our life. Two different kinds of tent that we are living. Right now, we are living in two different tents. Lastly, I would like to give you an illustration of our life. Most of here are OFW, 90%. And I have to tell you the truth, 70%, according to the survey, OFW is a failure when it comes to abroad. Most of them will go back in their place, in the Philippines, without nothing. And you know what is the secret? The secret of that one is godliness with contentment is great thing. I will tell you why. And I am always telling this whenever I go. When we left Philippines, it's either he or she. We have some pangarap, plans for our children. We want them to study in a good school. Because we cannot afford, to be honest, when we are working in the Philippines, to send them in a very good school. That is one of the plans. That's why we are here, to give our children a good education. We left the Philippines. Okay naman eh, di ba? When we are there, everything is okay. Food, shelter, and clothing, we can survive. We can even send our children to school, but not on highly standard school. We can get to movies, we can go to market, we can enjoy a lot of things. That's our normal life there. It's so happy that we have some little wish and dreams for our children, not for us. We go here, we are here, and we left our loved ones in the Philippines. We started earning money, and they have started receiving money. What happened is this. When they started receiving money, they should be content. They should be living the way that they are being left on that level. What happened? There is more money. Sabi nga kanina, more money, more things to spend, more things to go, more things to buy. Their standard of living go up. Because they are earning money, they are receiving money, something to spend. And here, he should stay just the way he go from the Philippines. He should be contented. Nung dumating siya, he has food, he has clothing, he has shelter, he has work, he's earning money. But little by little, he started to see things are happening. Meron siya, kailangan magkaroon ng work. Meron siya, I have to have that one. I have to live on that standard. I have to live UAE standard. He started to go up. The other party, he keeps on sending, he keeps on earning. The children are growing. Expenses are growing. Expenses are growing. But we have the same salary. And this one is also keep on his lifestyles going up. What happened is this. This is the reality now. A lot of expenses, same salary. In the Philippines, they're asking for some more additional supply of money. Where you will get the additional supply of money? Of course, We have to make the bank loan. That's the nearest possible thing. Number one, now we have a loan. We send the money, it's alright, it's good. Naubos yung pera. And they're growing up. Lifestyle is growing up. Hindi na siya balanse. What happened is, they keep asking more and more. Do you remember that if you send 100 dirhams to the Philippines and if you send 500 dirhams to the Philippines, at the end of the month, it is the same. Finish. They'll be asking for more. Right or wrong? You answer that. So what happens? There is a bank loan. There is an expenses growing. Needs are rising. What's the nearest? Wala na siyang pagkukunan. What's the nearest option? Plenty of credit card. Now he has a bank loan. Now he has a credit card. So what happened now? Instead of both of them are being contented on that level, they both go up because of being discontent. If only they have remained for the last 5 years in their life, remaining on that level, I am sure they have a lot of savings. They have a lot of savings in their life. They can send their children to school of high standard. They can live a life. And not every month, you have to see Judith. Oh, kilala nila. Do you know Judith? Many people are laughing. For all of you, I would like to introduce to you Judith. If you have a credit card, you have to meet Judith. Due date. You have to bring enough money. Just a single pills that you fail to bring, punishment. Late payment, punishment. Wrong amount, punishment. Judith is really, we don't like to Judith in our life. But we have Judith in our life because of being discontent. Brothers and sisters, maybe you will not see me for the next 3 or 4 years. But I want to tell you this one. Don't be a failure when we go back to the Philippines. Just like Paul says, we can learn to be content. We have the power in our life. We have Jesus Christ. He can endure a lot of things. We can endure to say we have nothing. Alam niyo po, in our culture, this is the last piece. In our culture, it's very sad to say that I don't have anything this one. Wala ako noon, pasensya na. We try to put to other people that we have on the expense of using our plastic card just to cover our son. Hindi po nakakahiyang sabihin wala. Ang nakakahiya po ay ang sabihin natin sa iba, malaman ng iba, na tayo po ay bauna sa utang dahil sa ating discontentment. Alam niyo po, we are not failing ourselves. We fail God because God has given us a command to be content in our life. And we are not following His command. God will bless us. God will richly bless us. The book of the Corinthians, look at how God bless us. He will richly bless us more than we want. The blessing of God doesn't count in numbers. The blessing of the world is in numbers. I have 10 hectares. I have 1 hectare. It counts in numbers. I have 10,000 in the bank. But when God blesses us, we will be richly blessed. Lavishly. Our God is lavish God. He will open the windows of heaven to pour out His blessing if we are very obedient in our tithes and offering. The path is there. Everything, the blessing is there. All we have to do is just walk in obedience, and everything is there. And brothers and sisters, it's not late to be content in our life. If you fail, just ask the Lord, Lord, I'm sorry, Lord, patawarin mo ako. Just give me another chance so that I can be contented in my life. Alisin mo sa puso ko, Lord, yung greed, covetousness, yung inggit ko sa kapwa. Just put in me humility and humbleness and desire to be content. That's all, Lord. It's the only thing that I can do right now. The Lord Lord is just there waiting for us. And He will be there. And He is there. And we can do all these things. We can bounce, recover back. Because God is in our life. We can do all these things through Christ who strengthens us. He will help us. God is there in our life. Uli po, Panginoon, sa mga